5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Welcome back, guys. So I hope you guys are all doing well. Holidays are amongst us, and because of that, Black Friday is coming right up, and I figured if some of you guys are trying to get into making YouTube videos, this would be a great video to make now at this moment. There's gonna be a lot of discounts on most of these things, and there's actually a pretty good discount on my main camera that I use. So I am filming this on my iPhone just so I could have everything laid out for you guys. So before we get started, most of the gear I've had before I started making YouTube videos frequently, more regularly. I guess you could say where I started was when I made the first walk around video, and it was cringe-worthy watching that right now. It's terrible, but otherwise, here's everything how I have it laid out all the time. It's kind of a mess. But let's get started. Alright, before I begin, I just wanted to mention a couple things here. I'm going to link most of these things in the description as far as I can find them online, wherever that may be. Try to find the deals. Otherwise, you guys can find pretty much most of these things on Amazon. So, let's get right into this. I'm going to try to kind of freehand this. So, first thing we got is my drone. This is a DJI Phantom 3 4K. So, let's get this opened up. There it is. Pretty much basic what you see. No extra fancy accessories here. Got the 2 sets of blades. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Just a controller. Enjoying itself. This one does film in 4K and 1080p 60 frames per second, as well as 2K. But I noticed it works best when filming 4K. It seems with its native resolution. So you could film in 4K and it just looks a lot better when you step it down to 1080 and when you're editing. So you render it that way. Let's put this aside. Alright, next up we got the actual cameras I have. So starting from the right, that's a Sony HX80. It's a point and shoot, but it records some pretty good video. It has a Carl Zeiss lens. I got the little fluffy windshields on there too. You could they're like, you could order these off I think Amazon, and you could just stick them on. There's double-sided tape underneath them. Blocks off pretty much most of the wind. Given you're not going 100 miles per hour and stick this out the window, you'll be fine. So it is made out of metal, some sort of metal, so it's pretty hefty. It feels really good in the hand. I have a couple spare batteries for this as well, and no complaints. It's pretty much a good throw in your pocket and go type of camera. Next up, I have my GoPro. This is the Hero Plus. It's one of the more basic ones. I think it's like $200. It does not have a screen or anything. It's on the GoPro suction cup mount right now. So it records 1080p and 60 frames per second, but I had a lot of complaints about this one. If you saw one of my driving videos, it has a lot of static, and no matter what I've tried, I couldn't resolve that issue. Even if you go back far enough to my exhaust videos, I've used this, and you can kind of hear the static in some of them as well. The video quality is subpar. Save the money, go for the actual Hero 4, Hero 5. That way you won't regret it. And it doesn't even have a microphone out port, so I don't even know why I got it. This right here is the bread and butter of every video I make. This is the main go-to camera. It has the little Gorilla Pod on there right now. This is a small one, so it doesn't really work well when you hold it. So I don't really use it. I just have it as a stand right now. I usually take it off and hold it by the lens, which is probably not a good idea anyway. But this is a Panasonic Lumix G7X and records 4K footage. It is pretty much the same sensor as the GH4. There's just a couple small differences. It does not record, I believe, there's a rendering, I don't know what it is, but I'm not really that good with cameras, but when you record in 60 frames per second, you lose out on, I think, data transfer or something. I'm not sure. The speed it writes at, there's something to it. Otherwise, at like about maybe less than 3/4 of the price of the GH4, it is an amazing deal. This thing is one of the most underrated cameras I've seen. You rarely see anyone use these for YouTube. It's usually something else like a T3i or one of the T-series Canons or a 5D or something. But if you're just getting started, this has a really good deal right now on Amazon. I believe they're about $300 off. It's like for 450 bucks. You get a really high quality camera. You guys can go look back at the footage I've taken before with this. There's a lot of 4K samples I've taken. There's a lot of the 1080 60 frames per second. It's just overall a really amazing camera. This is actually the kit lens that comes with it. It is a, I think, 14 to 42 millimeter lens. Does the job, although I want to get a wide angle macro four thirds lens soon. That's the other thing. It's not a full frame, but I mean, at the price point, it really does hold its own. So there's that. And I'll make sure to leave a link to this one in the description. And I have the Rode Video Micro on the top. It's a smaller version of the Rode mics. It's like a little shotgun mic, miniature. So, also, one thing to mention is the flip-up screen. It helps enormously, so you could have that like that. So these are my tripods. I've got this little basic $15-$20 Best Buy one that's like a piece of crap. It's like just all plastic. It's actually broken. Although it has served me pretty well. I think I've had it for over 2 years now. I think one of these legs are broken. But anyway, it's a Sunpack 5858D. So it is what it is. And then I purchased this one recently. This is a Slick, I think it's a SH705E. There it is. This one's a really high quality one. It's all metal, really heavy, so you know it's gonna stay in place. And I also have this little Slick, I think it's a Mini Pro 3. Has a little cell phone holder on there. Pretty great little tripod. Let's move on. So this right here is a Fat Gecko triple suction cup mount for your car. It's about half metal, half plastic. I've actually tried this on the exterior of the car with the Panasonic G7X on there and it held up really well. Not much more to say about it. This one's my other suction cup mount and it actually has a hot shoe mount on there. And this is so that I can mount this microphone to it and mount it on the exterior of the car, maybe near the exhaust or near the engine bay to get some better sounds while driving. Next up, I got this little stabilizer here. I got this from Amazon. It's one of those cheap ones. Well, relatively cheap, I guess. It's like, I think, 60 bucks. It is a little difficult to use at first, but you start to get used to it. You can see my use of it getting better and better by video. But I can still use a lot more practice with this. Maybe I should just take it out and practice. I would love a 3-axis gimbal, but those cost about an arm and a leg. So I don't think it's worth it at this point in time. Maybe one day, but this will do for now. Next we have this slider. This is a glide gear, it says right there, and it has a WF001H head on it. You buy this separately actually, it doesn't come with it. It's all steel. This thing is really heavy. So that's pretty much what prompted me to get that tripod right there, because this one couldn't hold it for squat. So yeah, this does the job. There's a little thumb screw here, so you can unscrew that and you can slide this around. Pretty self-explanatory. So since we got just a few bits left here, I'm just going to go over here and finish this off. Got this kind of head mount for the GoPro, bag full of goodies for the GoPro. I have this, so this kind of lets you clip the GoPro onto your baseball hat or whatever you may be wearing. You can clip it onto. Got this little selfie stick style thing. I use this mostly for the Sony HX80 as a regular, I think it's a 1/4 inch mount they call it. Extension cable for the microphone, so when I mount it outside the car, away from the camera. Don't care about that. Car charger. Couple chargers, a few extra batteries, international adapter, and battery bank. Actually, I don't know where my other one went. Some wires, and I got a bunch of spare SD cards here. And that's about it. And I don't know if you guys care about this, but this is a custom built Hackintosh. So basically what it is, it's a PC running Mac OS X. It is the latest version of Mac OS X. I forget what it's called. I lose track nowadays. It's an animal or something. So the PC, just the basics of it, I think it's 16 gigabytes of DDR3, Corsair. It's an Intel 4770K overclocked to 4.5 gigahertz and slightly undervolted. It's got a GTX 770 OC, 4 gigabyte version by gigabyte. I think that's the basic. It also has a Samsung 512 gigabyte SSD. I have a 1 terabyte external drive for backup and all that stuff. That's the basics of that. 100 meg down internet, 6 up. I wish I could get a little more up, but what can you do? Neck gear router. Got the dual displays just because that's all we have at work, and I got so used to it I can't go without it. It really helps to be able to look at what you're actually editing, and you got your timeline on the other side. So I do use Final Cut Pro 10 for editing. Just got used to that. Pretty easy to get used to and use. Can't complain there. So yeah guys, that's about it. That's about everything I have that I use as far as camera gear goes, editing software, my rig. I'm gonna make sure to leave everything in the description below if you need to find one of these items or you want to start. If it's something that you've been trying to do or trying to find the time to do, I really encourage you to go out and try making videos for your car. I thought it was pretty weird and I was a little nervous making my first one. It's kind of weird talking to a camera the first time you're doing it. You just get a little, things get a little awkward maybe. That's the way to put it. But it does, I do feel like it helps you in the real world. Anyway, if you guys have any questions about any of this gear, make sure to comment. I'll respond for sure. Make sure to like the video and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.